We have got to talk about CleanSpark. Last week on Thursday after close, they announced an additional $800 million share offering and an ATM offering on top of the already $500 million one they did just in January. And that sent the stock plunging 10% in after hours. And honestly, this morning in pre-market, it was down another 10%. Right now, we are up just slightly from that pit we fell into, but it has been dramatic all the same. So as you can see, we currently now have an additional 800 million on top of that 500 million, making it 1.3 billion dollars. And that is coming off of the heels of two 144 reports right here, one on the 21st and one on the 27th of March from two higher ups in the CleanSpark company. You can see the first one here was Matthew Scholes. This was on the 27th. They filed this one for 367,000 shares or $8.5 million worth of shares. And then you've also got Zachary Bradford, who is selling or announced that they would be selling 443,000 shares or $8.9 million worth of shares on the 21st. And if we scroll down on these 144s, you can see that their sales during the last 3 months, this Zachary, he sold on February 27th, 363,900 shares. And if we go back to Matthews, they also have their 3 months ago, their 3 months worth of selling, 90 days, whatever the selling they did in the last 90 days, excuse me. I cannot talk this morning. On February 27th, the same exact day as Zachary, for 322,000 shares or $6.7 million worth of shares. Now, let's take a look at the CleanSpark chart here, and let's go to the daily here and look at when was the 27th. They both sold the same day on the 27th right here, which is the peak of the market, $23.48, and it fell all the way down to, let's see, honestly, all the way down to 1473 right after that news. And I promise you, they very likely both sold at the exact same time last week on the 28th and dumped on all of us. And we'll probably see a down couple of days here, potentially all the way down, maybe even to, let's say, like $17 perhaps. We might see a drop all the way there. We saw it down to 18. 18 is a very important mark for us. Let me go into the extended hours here, and you can see 18 is a very important mark here. After this news came out, we dropped all the way down to 18. We wicked a little bit down into the 17s and came up immediately. We tested 18 two more times before bouncing off of it this morning, and now we are slightly up from not I don't know what we're up from. I think we're up from the pre-market because we're definitely not up from the from last week. So technically we're getting an up day somehow today, even though we are significantly below the close from there. Let me see the 1 day. No, we're not. There's no way we're getting up. Oh, yeah, it's minus. There we go. It's green for some reason. It's showing up green up here, but it's negative 5%. So I mistook that because it was green. Green's usually good. I don't know why my negative numbers are showing up as green. Maybe it's because the candle is technically moving upward. I don't know. It's moving aggressively though, so that's not the worst thing I've ever seen. This is kind of, I don't know how to feel about this news specifically. I do know that CleanSpark has been pretty responsible in the past in terms of using these ATM offerings in order to aggressively grow the hash rate and keep the business competitive with the likes of Mara and RIOT and some of the other bigger miners. They have been, I think the thing that is most damaging about this is the fact that it's coming in conjunction with the announcement of some pretty big sales by upper management. It feels a bit like it was orchestrated, especially on the long weekend. That feels a bit disingenuous, and I feel like a lot of investors are feeling the same in that respect, that like the way that it was executed didn't feel great. It felt a bit like like I had been had as an investor. And I'm comment down below if you feel the same way about the way that this announcement was handled. Now, I will say that CleanSpark has had quite a few ATMs in the last, quite a few offerings in the last year and a half. They have delivered on all of them. They have used them all to purchase more infrastructure to build the business better. And that gives me confidence that they will likely continue to do that. I just wish this had come out either at a different time or in a different way than it did this week. It caused quite the dramatic move. I did use it to do some purchasing in the after hours on Friday. I haven't done any purchasing since. I mean, sorry, not Friday, but Thursday. I haven't done any since. I'm kind of waiting to see how far this fallout will go before I get any more shares. I do feel like 18 is probably going to come in to play again here in the next few days, unless we get just strength out of this. But I don't necessarily see that happening. But we'll see. I mean, we have to watch. This is a big gap down. We'd have to fill this gap up to 21.14 before I'd start feeling like, okay, maybe we can come back and take out that 24.75 uh, dollar level. Right now, support is 18 below. That's the strong, strong support. The support we're currently sitting on is 19.22, which is the 15-day moving average. Is that the 15 or did I change that to the 13? That is the 15. Okay. And the $18 level that we need to stay above. We get below $18, we are going to meet the 200-day at $15 once more. So that's what we got to watch below. We got to watch that 15-day moving average. We got to stay above that, which is 19.22 right now. Which, if we break that, we're going down to $18. We break that, we're going down to $15. It could get kind of rough if we break $18. On the upside, we've got a bit of a resistance here on the gap at 21.18, a little bit more at 23.50, and then again at 24.70 before we are in open water again up ahead and got nothing above us holding us back. Let's look at the volume profile. Where is my volume profile? There it is. It's all the way back here. So let's take a look at how that played out on the volume profile on the 2-hour right now. That is actually kind of ugly. Let's look at the 1-hour. That's a little prettier, a little more data to work with there. So we came down dramatically, right? As soon as we broke below this, we came down to this section here between 21.70 and 21.30. And then we had a huge drop all the way to this shelf almost right there. Yeah, we came right to the top of it at 17.62. And then we came all the way up. We quickly charged up in the next candle up to this little outcropping here on the volume profile at 19.48, all the way back down to through the gap again this morning when we opened at 18.13, and now we're just kind of charging up through this volume here. And there's not a lot in the way. If we get above $20.50 here, we really don't have anything in the way up till 21.24, where we get that tiny little bit of volume. And then, above that, it's just straight back up to $23 again. And that's pretty exciting, seeing how much strength we are getting in this. That is actually pretty confidence building on that in terms of this not being like quite the fallout that I was expecting on Thursday when I saw that news and I saw that drop. So, it pays not to panic, I guess. I did buy into that fall, though. I was like, buy on Thursday. And it looks like that's paying off. You got to have your nerves about you, I guess. I get a little bit excited about big drops like 10, 12%. They get me pretty excited. So I did buy. I should have bought this morning. I was up for a very short period of time when this candle was down here in the 18s. I was just pretty tired, so I didn't actually do any buying. I don't like to buy when my mind is not quite awake. So that's what CleanSpark's going on with CleanSpark right now. They are diluting heavily. Let's look compared to their current market cap. Let's take a look here. Do I have it in here? Yeah, this is wrong. Or is it wrong? No, it's not because it fell down dramatically. Haha. $3.8 billion is the current market cap. 3.8, and they're going to add 1.3. 34%. So they have an ATM for 34% of the current market cap. Now, we do know that in the past they have been strategic with these ATMs. We know that they apply for them, get them approved, and then wait to act on them. So they're probably not going to be diluting right now. It'll probably come in the next few months or so, especially since their current ratio, which means their debt to liabilities, or assets to liabilities, excuse me, are not that bad. Actually, I believe it's like a 4 right now. Let me take a look at that. Here's the CleanSpark current ratio for the current moment. Now this is probably it's is back from the end of 2023. That's the most recent data that we have. This is on macro trends. This is just every quarter. We'll be getting new information for this very, very soon, but currently this is what we have. Their current ratio, which is their assets to liabilities, is 4.29. as of the most recent data that has been released, meaning that they have 4.2 times the amount of assets compared to liabilities, meaning they are not necessarily hurting for cash immediately. I'm sure that this new ATM is going to be put toward reaching that 50 exahash that is on their roadmap. So I'm not super concerned about dilution at the moment. I don't think that we will see a 34% dilution come through on CleanSpark. I think they'll wait till the time is right and the stock price is looking nice and plump before they start doing dilution on that, and it'll probably be closer to like 15-20%, maybe less than that, depending on when they choose to do it. So I'm not panicking. I don't like it. It does upset me. Of course, it does. I feel like it should probably immediately kind of upset anyone, but I'm not doing any knee-jerk reactions. I'm not selling all my shares. Of course, this is not financial advice nor a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I am looking to add CleanSpark if it gets down to 18 or lower, especially if it comes to 15. I'd be looking to add there if we can get down to those levels. But currently, I'm a happy camper just holding, waiting for things to play out further on this. Now let's take a look at the other miners, see how they're doing today. So we got, let's see, Mara. Mara is down 2.6%. They are not doing so hot. They're getting stuck in this empty void of volume here. Let me get rid of some of these drawings. You can see we are on the 200-day moving average, just kind of playing on this. Now I do hate last week's Thursday's close candle, which doesn't surprise me that today is also a very weak day with almost no volume. So doesn't look like Marathon's going to be doing much today. We'll check in later this week and see if we get any upward moves on this or if we continue to just kind of falter on Mara right now. RIOT is actually -1%. Again, it's green, but it's a negative number, so I got to be careful with that. Turn off the drawings on here. Let me turn off the SMAs. We are below the 200 and the 50. We are bouncing off of the 15 on RIOT. And on the volume profile, we just can't seem to get into this pocket and get up above that $12.60 on RIOT, which is honestly pretty frustrating. I do think that when this does happen, because right now price is compressing, when this gets this explosive move up, like we need just some good news, a nice news catalyst to get RIOT just flying right up to $15. And it'll happen quick when it happens, but it is kind of frustrating just watch it be a flat line right now on RIOT. IREN actually is having a fantastic day. I don't know why they're having a fantastic day. I'll probably have to look this up and make a video about it later today, but they are up 17, almost 18% today. So if you're in IREN, congratulations. You are one of the few having a fantastic day in the Bitcoin mining space today. It is above all of its SMAs. We've got the 5 crossing up above the 50 just a few days ago. The 15 is looking like it's trying to curl up and get over the 50 as well, which means we'll start fanning out all of the SMAs on IREN here very soon if it keeps moving up, and that would be excellent. It would look really just a beautiful bullish signal that IREN could go higher. So congratulations if you're in IREN. You're doing exceptionally well. I'm quite happy for you if you are in this stock. I always like it when especially the subs on the channel are making money. So if you are making money, go ahead and let us know in the comments that you are in IREN and you are killing it today, while the rest of us are suffering. So let's take a look at BitDigital. BitDigital got a red one and it's negative -1.39%. Let me turn off the drawings here so I can get a little bit less overstimulated by everything I'm seeing on this chart here. So we had 20% up last week. That was beautiful for BitDigital. This week we are coming off of that a little bit. We did get slightly overbought, so I'm not super surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we flagged here for a little while before charging up above the 200-day moving average on BitDigital. So right now, I'm looking at a similar move that happened back here in March 21st, and where we kind of just bled down a little bit and then charged up again. I'm expecting maybe to come down to the 50 or the 50 or the 5-day actually is all the way down at 258. So the 5-day, we need to hang out here for the 5-day to catch up. Maybe we'll dip below the 5-day moving average on BitDigital for a day or two and then climb right back above the 200-day moving average on this one. That's what I'm looking at here. Right now, the theme right now is down for BitDigital. Let me get a new line on here. I know all my lines are going to come back. And they're back. Yeah, that's a trend line. We need to get above that. Okay. So we need to break above $3, honestly, on BitDigital to really get anywhere. Let me turn that off. Oh, that was just difficult to look at. So I'm kind of expecting, honestly, I'll take this channel here, which turned out perfect, and I'll move it up here. I'm expecting a very similar little thing in this type of channel for a little while, and then when we break above it, it's going to take us back above $3, probably up to like 350, hopefully 4. That'd be fantastic. I don't know. I don't think this megaphone is going to keep playing out. I think this is probably done now. We'll see. I'll keep it on there just in case we come back down and test it again, but I don't think we will. I think that megaphone is pretty much all played out. Let me get rid of this too. That's distracting. I need to remove some of my drawings more often on these things. So let's take a look at Bitfarms. Bitfarms is actually having a plus 3.36% today, up 3.36% today. We are in this very, very thick volume right now. So we got a lot to work through. We have to get up and above. What was it? We need to get up and above 244 on this thing before we're really moving back up to highs around $3 on this thing. Though we are climbing up on the RSI, so we're low on the RSI. We're climbing up. We're trying to get above this 15-day moving average. It is providing some resistance for us. Below, we do have support at 207, and above, we have resistance at the 15 right now, where we currently are at 230. And then again at 237, we have a little bit more resistance before we come up on some stronger resistance at 260 on Bitfarms. So that's all we've got really going on today. CleanSpark is disappointing us with some of their news and the way that they have delivered it. Mara and Riot are doing the same thing they've been doing for a while, which is a whole fat nothing. Same with BitDigital, to be honest. Today, they're doing a big nothing, but that's to be expected after their huge run-up in BitDigital. Bitfarms, same kind of thing, not really doing much. IREN is absolutely killing it today at 18% up. Hopefully, they will continue with that momentum and maybe drag some of their friends up with them. That would be great for me because I don't hold IREN. So I'm actually doing really, really badly today. And that's okay though. So with that said, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.